Okay, guys, my name is Dr. Sharnael Wolverton-Sehon. I am so excited today. I have a friend of mine and a coworker that is going to share a little bit about her journey, and she's going to share a little about some of the gifts that she uses to serve and to help and support people in their world and your world. Maybe you're one of them. She just started working at our center here and has a lot of really cool tools in her tool belt. And one thing I really appreciate, Leigh, is not just her heart and her purity, but she's an eternal student like me. Like every time I talk to her, she's doing a new certification. She's learning something else. Like I feel like we're kind of kindred in that, where I'm like, well, let me study this now. Let me study this now. And it's just like this constant like evolution of self and inner self, but it's not for her. Like yes, it is for her, but she has such a heart for people, and it's tangible when you're in her present. I'm going to cry. I feel it when I'm around her. I just got a raindrop from her last week, and I knew going in, I'm like, I know I'm going to cry. So just go with that. Like, it's going to be okay. But she just recently started working with us, and she does hypnotherapy. She does life coaching. She does raindrop. She does emotional release. She does Reiki. I'll let her share a little bit about what she does, but I wanted you guys to be introduced to her in case it's something that could help improve your life and change your life, and just get a little peek window into some of the things that are kind of in the works, and that what we're doing on our end of the world here to help people and to serve in a way that can help people be their best and their fullest. And so without further ado, Leigh, I would like to introduce you to our people, and thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thank you so much. It's good to be here. It's good to see that all the things that I've been working on for the last few years finally starting to get out there, my name out there. And I am currently a nurse. So I have experience with both sides of the coin with the regular nursing. And also, I've been certified with Reiki for about 20 years now.
Wow.
So that was definitely something that everybody thought was strange at first, but the world's really come around to it. And, it's a very old modality. It came from India and Tibet, and then it spread to Japan and it was preserved there. And it was brought to the United States in the 1930s. So it's really like an ancient modality, and so is working with essential oils, which I do a lot of, and I've been doing some reading about that, and I found out that there were actually hieroglyphics in Egypt where some of the essential oils were depicted as being helpful to different emotional states, even back then. So that's been used for 3,000 years. So, we're bringing back things that seem new age, but they're really the old ways.
I love it. Yes, and that book, The Healing Spirit, like I did buy that book. I'm actually reading it right now. Thank you so much for that, like referral to that.
Oh,
I
yeah. Do you have it that you could show the people right now?
It's in the other room, but yeah, I'll put maybe a link or something down here. I love the pictures, and just it goes into such depths. Um,
Yeah, and I love how it gives also it gives like the Chinese medicine
Absolutely.
perspective on things. And
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's a deeper dive. I've read a lot on aromatherapy, as you know. Like it's kind of what my specialty is aromatherapy, and my drive. I've been to farms all over the world, Croatia and Turkey and Italy and France and all the stuff, to see how things are grown, and like the phenols and sesquiterpenes and monoterpenes, and how they work with the brain chemistry and the body and the blood. And I do live blood and all those things that you love. But this book was it's like a little bit out of the box for me, and also such an add to, to kind of even nail it down even more, how essential the the blood of a plant that God has given us, it can work with our blood and with our chemistry and with our emotions. And even going back to Reiki, you mentioned 1930s. And I'd love to know what the word Reiki even means, because I'm such a word person. But to me, the disciples and Jesus, when they would pray, they didn't always pray with laying hands. Sometimes they did, but sometimes it was no touch. And very similar to prayer, in my opinion, like my very humble opinion. But I would even say that Jesus and the disciples did Reiki, and maybe they just didn't call it that, but it's just like,
yeah, laying on of hands, and that's where we get into the Bible healing classes and things like that, and the biblical oils. And
yeah,
the Reiki is actually a combination, like Ki would be like chi in Japanese. So
okay.
Reiki, it means universal energy, universal healing energy.
Oh, wow. Okay. I actually took Reiki 1 and 2, and maybe they taught me that, and I just don't remember. It's been a minute. Again, it's one of those things like I take pranic healing, and then I take aromatherapy, and then I take Reiki. I just like pile up all these like certifications, and I'm like just taking what I need and what I choose and seeing what comes out whenever I'm working with someone. But yeah, tell us a little bit about your journey as far. I know you've been through things, and it seems like we have a lot of similar paths, and maybe that's why we found each other, because we actually found each other at um, a sun and moon
The
wellness
Sun Moon
festival.
Fair. Yeah, it was a healing, a
Yeah,
place for healers and practitioners.
yeah, and
And
it's so cool because here we go, like 2 years later, we're working together, and we're actually having a booth together in October
that's
together.
great.
And it's
I'm
like,
very excited about that.
isn't
Yes,
it
we have a
fun?
lot to share with the area and what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to be combining aromatherapy with Reiki and demonstrating that at the Sun Moon in Denham Springs this October, about a month out from now.
That is so
Um,
cool. Yeah, and I
and
know
I'm
you're teaching Sunday. Aren't you teaching this weekend too over at the Haven? Like you're just
uh,
all over the place.
yes, that's right. Yeah, we're going to be. I'm going to be with Brooke, the informed nurse, and she's going to be talking about nutrition and how it can help you through the these coming months when people are getting more sick. And I'm going to be talking about the essential oils, and I'll be doing some hypnotherapy as well, to just demonstrate how we can use those modalities to relax. And I think people are looking for that now. I think people are looking for answers. I think people are looking to go back to the old ways in a lot of different scenarios. And then that also brings me to the chakra healing and balancing. I'm going to be demonstrating that as well, using the oils and the crystals, and then also do emotional release therapy, and that's with the essential oils, and that I learned through Young Living. So
Yes,
that's really exciting
that
to
was
be a part of that, and then also to be a part of the Destin retreat coming up in October.
oh, that's right. Yes, yes, yes. Don't forget that. Thank you. Yes. So we're gonna have fun over there, and we've done that retreat over a decade in that specific area, and this will be the first time that Leigh is joining us, and I'm so excited that she'll be there to do services and help people connect with God and nature and find that wholeness
Yeah,
and healing. And it happens to be like a lot of people who are in this vein of service, not just medically, but spiritually and
mhm.
mentally. And we seem to have attracted quite a few people that are constantly like giving, and have their own platforms all over the world of just, giving. And people are coming to receive and to heal and to connect and to kind of reset a little bit. So I'm very
That's
excited
right.
about that.
Yeah. So because even the healers need healing time as well, and
Absolutely.
healing takes time. So
Yeah. So talk about hypnotherapy, because some people could see that as quote new age as well. But what exactly is hypnotherapy, and like how do you use it with aromatherapy to like tap into that healing aspect?
Okay, well, it's really a method of relaxation. We put people under hypnosis by getting them to relax, and then the subconscious mind really takes over and is in control. Well, the subconscious mind is really always in control. The conscious mind only really dictates 5 to 10% of every action that we do. So it's really about getting into that relaxation state. And we talk about different goals beforehand that we want for the person. And we put them in under hypnosis. And then we go back into their childhood, usually, because that's when our personality is set. And we go and we talk about different experiences that the person had, and we talk about how it's relevant now to what the person is going through, what type of challenge they're having now, because it's usually linked to something that happened to us as children. Sometimes it's, trauma with the big T, and sometimes it's trauma with a little t. But it all has to be uncovered in order to go forward in life. So it's just a really interesting way. It's a lot very similar to the aromatherapy, because the essential oils go straight to the limbic system, the seat of the emotions, and that's how we affect change. That's how we help people to grow. We help people to get over trauma and things that happened to them when they were young, so that it won't affect them today.
Yeah, that seems to be common of like people kind of get trapped in the trauma, and then they'll see like reoccurring situations where like I say they, me, all of us can tend to attract a negative person or someone that maybe is abusive or isn't really our highest. And so you go in and you identify what the root issue is, kind of clear it so that's not in the field anymore, and then we can start to get some more positive people.
That's right. We use a lot of neurolinguistic programming whenever we go through a stage where we reprogram the new belief. Once the person has let go of the trauma in the past, then we can go in and we can plant the new beliefs in the subconscious. And then a lot of times after the session, it's recommended that we do like the hypnotherapy recording for 21 days. Usually most people get a personalized recording.
Oh,
so
wow.
They'll do that for 21 days, and that reinforces what we went through in the session.
Oh, that's so smart. Yeah, to create a new pathway, a new habit, like mentally, because dendrites and pathways in the brain kind of are like roads, literally. And so you can have a certain road or you can pave a new road. And so you're paving new roads for people to think in a positive way instead of like, oh, default, that's the road that I always took and I'm just going to think the worst, cancel, clear, instead of, you know what I mean?
Yes, like exactly. Instead of being in the old paradigm, it's bringing them to the new paradigm. And
well, how do essential oils work with that? Like, explain that a little bit.
What type of oils would help with that? Was that the question?
How do oils work with clearing and making a new path? Like what?
Okay, sure. Yeah. Well, the oils affect the DNA, so they go in and they repair the DNA. So if somebody has ancestral trauma, it could really help with that. Of course, we all know lavender is the Swiss Army knife of essential oils, and that's good for relaxation. But we have other things that are good for, letting go, like cedarwood would be one of those.
Cedarwood has so many sesquiterpenes. See, that's the
And
thing.
then,
Yeah, is there's like lots of oils out on the market, as we know. I mean, 10, 20 years, well, 15 years ago, I've been in this. And back then there was a lot of stuff on the market. Now there's even way more on the market, but the FDA guidelines are if a bottle has 3 drops of oils in it, you can actually market it as a therapeutic grade A natural organic oil. And that's just not the case. So be really careful when we're talking about oils, that we're actually talking about the entire bottle is the oil, not just 3 drops in there.
That's correct, because they can label it as 100% pure, even if it's not all pure technically.
Absolutely, which is kind of confusing. And I think they do the same thing with food and juice. And, if you try to go get cranberry, good luck, cranberry juice. Because I sent my kids out years ago to go get cranberry juice, and they brought home a couple different bottles. And if you turn around and look at the ingredients on the back, it was 98% fructose or apple juice or something. And then it was 2% or 4% actual cranberry juice, which I wanted or chose cranberries for a kidney situation at the time, which is really good helping and healing for that. And apple juice wouldn't have done the job, because that would actually maybe increase sugar and candida and not really touch the kidneys at all. But at least you could turn it around and actually read the ingredients, so I wouldn't partake in that. And I wish the FDA would make them label oh, there's 98% propylene glycol in this bottle, instead of actual valerium containing the whole thing, or actual sandalwood or cedarwood or whatever you were naming. Sacred, this is frankincense, and it's actually 100% frankincense. There's nothing else in there. There's no carrier. There's no propylene glycol. There's no antifreeze is propylene glycol. So there's so much, trickery in marketing and with food, which I know you're talking about this weekend. It's when you go to the grocery store, how much is actually food in there anymore, and that does affect the physical. And going into winter, like you said, because it's darker, people aren't going outside and they're not getting as much vitamin D. They're not grounding. And think about the holidays. So we got October with Halloween, got Thanksgiving, we got all the Christmas stuff. People tend to eat worse. And so I think that affects the entire immunity as well. So
the frankincense, I'm glad you mentioned that, because it's so good on so many levels, on the spiritual, emotional, and physical level. And then there's the other oils that are really high in antioxidants, clary sage being one of them. And the whole ORAC scale, which I didn't know about till I saw one of your shows.
Yes,
and that was really interesting.
Radical absorption capacity, ORAC. Yes, love it. Yeah, they are really high in that. And so there's a lot of things that you can intertwine things as far as hypnotherapy, Reiki. You've actually, with the Reiki aromatherapy, I've never heard of that. And then you're just oh, I just came up with a new thing. And I'm yeah, I love it. Do it. Go for it. Why not?
They have other people in other areas doing the aromatherapy, Reiki, but I just thought it was such a great idea to combine the two, that it really feels like it's going to work, because it, the hyssop, for one example, for oils, is really good for purification. So if somebody had something heavy in their past that came out during the hypnotherapy, or in the Reiki session, that might be a good oil to add to the whole repertoire. Or also emotional release. It's really the same thing. The oils are personalized to what the person has been through. So it really, you can't go wrong with any of the modalities. So.
I love it. Something interesting about hyssop is, so a lot of the oils will have phenols or monoterpene, sesquiterpene, whatever, all the different things. Phenols clean off the cells. Monoterpenes deprogram the cells, and sesquiterpenes reprogram the cells. So I think that's in the right direction. And so I say PMS, but it's a different kind of PMS. But phenols, monoterpenes, sesquiterpenes. Hyssop is the only oil that I know of that actually contains all of it. So you can clear off the receptors, clean the cells, deprogram the cells, and reprogram with one oil altogether. And I think that's fascinating because it's even mentioned in scripture with David using his.
Yeah, he used it as oil of purification whenever he was busted doing some bad things.
Busted doing some bad thing. He was not being a good boy. He was like, shame on you, David. But yes, so very, very cool. Well, I'm going to put Leigh's information up here so you can book an appointment with her, whether it's all her stuff. And then I'm going to put her contact and her email, like all the things in here. So if you look in the description here, you're going to see all the great ways that you can connect with her and come get an appointment and see how you can, remember. Again, just remind everybody where you're at. I know you're at Living True Wellness, and then the October event. Like, share about that.
Yes, I'll be at the booth for Living True Wellness at the event in October 7th. It'll be in Denham Springs. So I'll be there. And then the Destin retreat is later in October. That's going to be really great. As you said before, I'm always doing a different class. There's just so many interesting things. It's hard to really to stop, actually, because I really would like to study Ayurveda, and then there's the Chinese medicine, which is fascinating. How different meridians work. Like they say, like the whites of our eyes are connected to the liver, and a lot of fear lives in the kidneys. So in the kidney chi. And so different oils that go with that, and conquering fear and helping people with anxiety. I mean, let's face it, it is the age of anxiety, and a lot of people are feeling anxious. So it's, kind of a world that's no one knows what's going to happen next almost. So it's definitely, people are feeling that way for a reason.
Yes. And I think like a collective feeling too, like those of us who are empaths, it's like, even if things seem to be okay in our world, it's like you can pick up on the whole thing.
Yeah, the collective unconscious. Yeah, that's for sure.
So,
well, that's again where the oils come in.
Exactly. Well, I appreciate you taking time out. I know this is kind of last minute, and I just kind of threw it on you real quick, and I'm sure we'll have you back again. But I'm really, really just so fortunate and blessed that you are in my life and that we get to work. We get to play together. I'll say play together instead of work. That sounds more fun. And again, if you guys are interested in getting a session with Leigh, I really, really, really encourage you to do that, because I'm telling you, she's very gifted. And you, like I said, you could feel the purity and the love that she has. She truly, truly wants to see people well. And, we run around and we talk to people all the time. And I'm very, very picky about who I spend my time with, who I have on my show, who I absolutely, who I'm going to work with and share space with. And we interviewed quite a few people, and we've turned people down. But when she came, I was like, yes, that was an easy yes. I'm so glad that you joined us. And I just look forward to seeing where all this goes and all the endeavors that we have going forward. And I just really appreciate your time and your love and just how you are with you, how your integrity, how you carry yourself, and how you speak to others. It's just a blessing to walk with you and to be with you. And I appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much. Likewise. And I'm really happy to be a part of Living True Wellness Center. It's an amazing place.
Awesome. All right. Well, you guys have a good one. Make it great wherever you are. And we are here every Thursday at noon. And you guys can kind of see sneak peeks on TikTok and my website and different. Sometimes I just pop on and surprise people. But go to drsharnael.com, and then you can actually go right into drsharnael.com, and you can go to Living True Wellness, the link there, and you can find more about Leigh and all the others that work with us. We're just a network of people that really want to see people get well, and we use a lot of fun tools to do it. Some of them very natural, and some of them are a little more electric, I love saying that it's a lightning lavender approach, meaning we use electricity and frequency that's plugged in the wall, but we also use the frequency of plants and frequency of nutrition and frequency of vibration and, you know, thoughts and feelings and like coaching she does and all the things that we have that are so fun because we are energy and God is energy. And so when we can tune up and raise that frequency and that vibration, we start to see things really happen where things are clear and things that are good can start coming into that field and we can see and create a beautiful world. So you guys check out drsharnael.com. Definitely share this if you don't mind. Comment if you have any questions too, you can put that in the comments. And I do truly love all of you very much and appreciate you guys so much. And we will see you next time.